all lose our shit and gonna have the biggest nerdgasm in our entire lives. Title drop.
You notice how he was not interrupted not once when you were saying all of this stuff. Kathleen and Dave Filoni were like, let's go.
We see you.
Yeah, they might
Best
even make
Jedi
that a
mind trick
promo.
ever.
Yes,
Look how excited Star Wars fans are.
What up, everybody?
Yeah, hey everybody, you're watching the Nerdgasm podcast.
I don't get Superman. For me, Superman's worse. And I'm not talking about in this movie or in the.
Is Appa the Chewie of the Avatar group?
Yes, he is.
okay, I'll behave. I'll behave. Okay. Welcome to the Nerdgasm podcast. I don't know. These are officially my co-hosts now. I'm not gonna just say it's a four. Welcome to Nerdgasm. It's the four of us. We are now we all meet the criteria. We are old, bitter millennials who grew up on the comics.
Hey, well, hold up.
And the manga.
I may
for
be
those who
old,
are
but I
from-
never signed up to be bitter.
Somebody said something very important. For me, somebody said something that triggered me a bit, but also made me feel awesome. Like the four of us are shaping up to be the African version of the Try Guys, and I'm thinking, oh my god,
The what?
Oh.
the Try Guys is like this big ass channel in the US. They've got like 5 million subscribers. They used to be big in BuzzFeed. Then they started their own independent channel. Then they had this bigger scandal. So the size of the channel and the influence, I appreciate that compliment. But for the scandal, like one of them betrayed them. It's like,
Wait,
There was an
cheating on his wife.
imposter.
yes.
There was an Eisen of the group.
Well, only one of us here wears glasses, so you know who to watch.
That's two people.
The
wear
day I
glasses.
take these
Yeah.
off.
Oh, Asan, no, then it has to be, no, glasses and no hat.
Yeah.
The day I take these off.
Anyway,
I mean, Pila could be chosen. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. There's always the second betrayal. Also, I love how no one was offended by Tosin's betrayal. It was Tosin, they're like, yeah, we always knew this black guy.
wait,
We always
this is some gold stuff. This is a prelude. We're gonna take the snip and gonna give it as a trailer for the Bleach arc. Cause once we go Bleach, I want to have 100 views per episode. This one we're gonna have to yell at.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Bleach is popular now, so I think
Yeah.
Dude.
Thousand Blood War arc is happening, and
Which I have never watched because
it looks good. I'm not gonna even lie, but like I'm so confused. I have to catch up on Bleach. I'm like, I don't even remember who is who in this who here.
I
Somebody
don't
is
know.
saying repent and reject.
I don't know. Did I send you the video about the Bankai in Sesotho?
No, you didn't send it to me. You didn't send it to the group.
Me, I think.
I just sent it to the group.
No.
Okay, no,
you-
I must send it because every time I think about it.
I was laughing so hard. The things that stab. Or should we? Or yeah, sorry. Disclaimer first time. Let's go.
Disclaimer: we are in full support of the writers' strike. Pay the writers. We do by no means by discussing this topic. We are by no means endorsing Disney or encouraging people to partake in what Disney is doing or taking their product. We are simple fans who enjoy Star Wars, and that's what we want to talk about. And disclaimer.
Fan is a
That being
strong
said-
word.
Huh?
Fan is a strong word.
For me, I'm a fan because I grew up on Star Wars.
Yeah, me too.
But that being said, guys, just pay your writers,
Actually,
pay your VX
please.
team, pay your
Please.
VX team, pay your actors.
pay
Just-
Yeah.
But nah, guys, the truth is, and I'm saying this from I'm a human being and I'm in the world of business, sort of. I can see where corporate can get in this kind of vision of making explosive profits and stuff. But they must come to the realization that self-interest is a thing of the past. The future is common interest. If it does not work to the benefit of the people that you have around you, it's not going to work. That is the future we are heading towards. So either you accept and change, or you're going to wither and die. And I don't. I have many things to say about Disney, but I don't want to. I don't want what it is built to die because of corporate greed. Because there are good things about them.
Simon Sinek said something. I think it's either the book called Start With Why or the book called Leaders Eat Last.
Hmm.
He said that it's called a company because of the people.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So it's a company of people. It's
Mm.
not just a building or an
Yeah.
idea or a vision or a mission. No. It's the people.
It's a people.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you have company?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
I
exactly
know.
what he was alluding to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at the history books, the people that we all look up to, Caesar would not be Caesar had he not had the 10th Legion.
Mm.
Alexander would not be Alexander without the companion cavalry. There are people that build you up, and if you are not there to help them, then it's not. You're going to fall into the wayside of the pages of history like another. I don't know.
Also, can we also just say that most of these people have gone to school to study literature and study history and whatever so that they can write and do great work. They can't be going to school for so many years to be earning peanuts. It makes no sense.
Peanuts. Hmm.
Yeah, I know right now I think the latest news on that is another sit down. They sat down with, I'm not going to list them by name,
Yeah.
but the head of Disney, the head of Warner, the head of Apple, head of Netflix,
Hmm.
and I forgot where the Donna lady's from. No offense to her. I think she's from Sony. Some one of those. So I think now we're in the end game of those discussions. So hopefully, for the sake of the industry, we'll get to something in the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Because the thing is, it's not even like it's a nicety. Like people want to treat this like it's some Zen kumbaya. No, it's like logic and hard fact. If your employees are happy, the customer gets a better product.
Yeah.
It's just cold hard business that if you as a leader take care of your people, automatically they'll take care of your customers.
100%.
And then your customers will take care of you. That's the chain of events.
Also, I think people forget. We think when we talk about the writers and actors that are asking for money, and also the VFX artists that are unionizing. I mean, yes, we forget the value and how much money these studios have. I mean, a property like Star Wars is, I think, worth like 40 billion or 48 billion. So and that I'm pretty sure that 40 billion is probably going to the majority of pockets of like a few people.
Yeah.
So put it in perspective, I think we're forgetting that these behemoths are worth hundreds of billions. It's not like,
Reds.
and if you just took half of that and gave it to salaries, a lot of these people can afford to live their lives so much better.
Mm.
It doesn't need to be a
Small
bonus.
countries or something like
No,
that.
it's
And that's just Star Wars. Star Wars alone is worth 48 billion. I'm not even thinking about the other IP that you own and how much.
Under Lucasfilm alone, not just Lucasfilm. Like Indiana Jones alone is probably worth billions.
and what the writers are asking for is just enough to get by, to live.
Right.
I can't stress enough the impact of for people to quantify what it means, how difficult it is to live day to day. And now, on top of having to have developed these skills, having to have gone and studied, having to have gone and you have a talent for this art, and then you don't have enough to live, and then they say it's a system of a free enterprise. When is this free enterprise not free anymore?
Ish.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's at this end game. I hope people can get by, and if they still won't get by, look at me. We shall rise up and replace you
It has happened before.
easily.
Mm.
It has happened before.
I mean,
No, just because you're on top 10 years
Doesn't
ago doesn't mean you're going to be on top in another 10 years. Like,
yes.
people think these things are infallible. Like, to talk about the Ahsoka episode, like, I saw this thing on Twitter that made me laugh, and they would not make me laugh, but it would just made me go, So they were like, should Balin Skull survive season 1? Who do you think could take take Ray Stevenson's place in the thingy in the next season, taking his story forward? Because somebody said Dave Filoni said the character story is not done. And then I was in the comment section and people were like, oh yeah, this guy could do it, this guy could do it. And then somebody was like, no one else can do it. He must just he must just it's over. Balin Skull is done or whatever. They must reboot in 10 years or something.
Wow.
And I was just like, you really think that Disney is infallible? You really think that they can put out whatever and then people are just going to flock to this subscribe service?
Eat it up.
And, yeah. And it's just like, no. Like, some people are going to want the character to continue. And there's no way you should down a franchise or a character just because the actor had an unfortunate situation. Actors don't even ask for that. I mean, I remember Bob Odenkirk said when he had a heart attack, he was like, they should probably recast me for Better Call Saul because they need to finish the story.
Yeah.
Or like, what, I'm just saying, people really think sometimes that these people are infallible or that these situations are infallible, and vice versa. These executives think that they're untouchable. It's like, no, you're not. This is not 1963 anymore. You can be replaced very easily.
Even if it was 1963, I mean, look at these companies that were titans back in the day. BlackBerry, Research in Motion, that was the company. Does everyone even know its name anymore?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
Nokia, Motorola.
Yeah, BlackBerry is just 10 years ago at its height, and now no one even remembers it.
We don't know it.
No, we hold a vigil every Sunday. Buttons.
I just wanted to say two things. When Tobey Maguire had issues, I think, with his back and couldn't return for Spider-Man 2 at the time, they were considering replacing him with Jake Gyllenhaal, but he came back. So meaning they were going to continue without him. The other one is There was a series called Spartacus where the actor who portrayed the main character in season 1, he passed away. They just recast. They got someone else and they continued with the story.
Recast T'Challa. Sorry.
Yeah.
T'Challa.
What is that?
No, nothing. T'Challa.
Was I hearing some Twitter hashtags in this podcast?
No. All right, let's actually talk about this episode.
All right.
We're on what, episode 6 now?
Yes, episode 6 now. But yes, please pay those freaking writers, really, and pay those actors, pay those VFX artists.
I think we've expressed ourselves enough. I mean, I'm just saying, one day when we are in our corporate offices, I hope if I lose my mind and get possessed by I don't know what, and then I start acting like a douchebag and stop caring about the people helping me up, I want someone to take a clip of this very podcast and smack my face with it to remind me that I want to be a part of the world solutions, and that part means making sure that everybody gets a fair deal. That's all I'm gonna say. That being said, let's go into Ahsoka. It's Ahsoka 6, right?
Yeah.
5, there was no Sabine. 6, there is more Sabine. More Sabine.
They call this the Sabine show. Like I think it's like this is so like she works as a supporting character now. I think there's no way they can pivot now and try and make it a Ahsoka show. I think that's over.
Yeah.
No, but I think what I wanted to just say is that guys, you got your throne. Are you happy?
Look, I didn't think that who Thrawn was. Like when I saw him, I was like, wait, is this Thrawn's second in command or is this Thrawn?
That was Thrawn.
I like Thrawn. They gave him his own Imperial March.
And
Enoch.
What I like, I forgot. I want to remember actors' names. Forgive me, because I'm immersed. But this actor did his homework. He did there's one thing about Thrawn is that he's got this very melodious way of talking that's almost borderline ASMR relaxing.
It is.
Is he
And-
Asian? That guy he looks Asian.
No, he's Mikkelsen sibling. So you know the guy, Mads Mikkelsen, the guy who plays Hannibal.
Right.
The guy who
The
plays-
Doctor
Yes.
Strange
I
villain
think
that
it's-
was wasted.
Yeah, it's that guy's brother, not Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh,
That
I
guy-
see.
I think he was in Sherlock. Sorry for the Sherlock people.
The guy
Oh,
who
okay.
played
He was the mind prison guy. Sorry. Old
Hannibal.
reference.
Hannibal Lecter.
He wasn't. He's not Hannibal, but his brother in real life. I know his last name is Mikkelsen. I just forgot his first name.
No, he did it. And I always, ever since Ahsoka first appeared in The Mandalorian, people were complaining about, oh my god, Ahsoka doesn't look like that. Oh my god, she's gonna butcher the character. She debuted, everybody fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And when I saw the picture of Thrawn and everybody saying, oh god, that's not how Thrawn looks like. Oh my god, why does he look like that? And I'm thinking, just let's see his performance.
Right.
Recast T'Challa.
What is that?
Yeah.
So I'm of the opinion now that let's give people the benefit of the doubt, and then we can critique what they have. Just because they don't look the way they are supposed to look on canon, nobody's gonna look like that,
Right.
unless of course there is a character based on you, aka Anakin. We never knew how Anakin looked like up until Anakin showed up. So now that's how Anakin looks like. Thrawn was designed already from the books. And he talks. I was like, so long as I get the talk right, I'm happy. And,
Wait. Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, you broke up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, me?
You back. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Hello. I was saying I'm glad that the guy did his homework and how to get the throne mannerism right, and how when he aced the character, even though it's the canon character, not necessarily the Legends character. He aced the Legends character, the methodical. Oh, we have a threat. I'm going to do my homework. I'm not just gonna go in swinging. He's going to study. He studies Ahsoka just like he studied every other person he's met, every single person he's fought against. He's a meticulous villain, and he's also. We also got to see that he is the main bad guy. We got to see his evilness.
That's the thing. I might actually have to differ on you.
Okay.
I don't think he's the main bad guy.
Why do you say that?
But just quick, something in my throat. Recast T'Challa. Sorry, you were saying about Thrawn?
I think we're
I
gonna
don't
get
think-
you some strepsils.
I can't give any spoilers because obviously I'm not a writer in the room. But like just from my general feeling of watching the show, I feel like Ray Stevenson's character is teasing more to come, and I feel like the mystery that he's teasing, I feel like there's gonna be something that changes the entire dynamic. Either they're gonna go back in time, because I mean, there's been a few allusions to them talking about pre-era everything we know.
Yeah.
Especially in this episode. And this guy, especially Ray Stevenson's character, kept talking about going back in time and all that stuff. So I think we might get time travel. I mean, I'm not obviously I could be wrong, but I'm assuming whenever they go back in time, they might be dealing with another dark Sith Lord that might be the new big bad that they have to deal with. But I've got a weird feeling where I'm like, I don't think Thrawn is this guy. I think he's obviously going to be like a what do you call it? A semi. What do they call this? The villain before the main villain.
The semi-boss.
Yeah, the semi-boss. I feel like he's giving semi-boss vibes. He was very intimidating, don't get me wrong. But I feel like this is not the guy. I feel like he's going to get us to the guy.
I get that, but what I want to argue is that the moment he entered that scene, everybody was just listening. They were just taking his commands. He looked at this former Jedi, and he immediately didn't trust him. There was not like, oh wow, Master Jedi. Like he said, oh, General Balin. Oh, that was a long time ago. Okay, fine then. Let Sabine go, and then after that, go after her.
Yeah.
And then after that, he says,
Kill them.
he said 2 squads, and then like 2 squads will not be enough. We don't have enough troops, and I don't want to waste my money. The reason I'm saying The reason I'm sending these troops is for them to all die. There's
Mm.
there's no. Oh, I'm loyal to people who are loyal to me. He cuts people out like vegetables. Honest to God,
There's
and
just two
that's
things I wanna say quickly.
yeah.
One is, I think someone might correct you in the comments. We did get exposed to Anakin, but it was an old actor in Return of the. I mean, is it Return
Return
of?
of the Jedi,
Yeah,
yeah.
Return
Yeah.
of the Jedi. Yeah.
Initially, it was that old man. I forgot his name. I think his name is Sebastian something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that shows up after for Luke after Luke threw the Emperor down the shaft, or what I mean after
Yes,
Vader
Yeah.
threw the Emperor
And
down the
as Force
shaft.
yes.
Ghost,
Yes.
yeah.
At the
That
end,
was yes.
before Hayden Christensen was cast way later, obviously they had to alter that ending scene. If you
They
guys,
Yeah,
didn't.
they did.
They
they did.
They,
didn't.
they did
No,
actually,
they
but
did not.
No, they
Oh,
yes,
did.
really?
they
No,
did.
I'm saying they didn't have to alter it. Like that was my
Oh,
thing.
Yeah.
Like
yes,
he
yes.
could have
I
just left it as is because now you're confusing my brain.
I I have the original 1973 ancient Return of the Jedi in tape that's worn out and all.
Yeah, Debza, you're cutting again.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's going on? Are the Illuminati after me? Is it the he who shall not be named? That's the very first time I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so you
Uh,
were saying that you have the old tape,
The old
the
tape,
original
and
one.
yes, we do see Sebastian there, and I do agree that that was Anakin, but that is old Anakin. What I was talking about hating Christensen is like Anakin at his peak before he
oh,
became this old
Mm.
person.
mm,
So we never got to see that template.
right.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing that I wanted to say is Ray Stevenson's character alluding that he survived Order 66?
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
have
Yeah, of
to.
course he
He would
did.
have
He
to.
does
He,
mention in the
he,
episode that he was there at the temple.
yeah, he was there
Did he
at
say
the
he was
temple.
there at the temple? I thought he said
No,
really?
he said
I
that he
think,
watched the temple burn.
Yeah,
When
Yeah,
yeah.
I was no older, when I was a little older than you, I watched everything I knew burn. So he would
yeah.
have to
yeah.
be there at
Yeah.
Order 66. I
Or,
think what they're saying about his character, I think Balon is supposed to be when because remember when they said in the Last Jedi there was supposed to be no more Jedi or whatever. I think it's
Mm.
supposed to be alluding to him being a gray Jedi. So it's supposed to be like a Jedi who can dabble in both sides of the Force
Mm.
and somebody who's going to do something that would balance the universe, but he might do it in a way that's like counter to the Jedi and all
did
of
I
that stuff,
not
counter
did
to
I
the,
not
the, the
say
light side.
that?
You did. You
Yeah, you
did.
Like
did.
I
literally the
think you
first was
did
like
say
they're
that.
going to be grey Jedi-ish going on.
You did.
Mm.
Yeah,
You did.
Ha!
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But like my only thing with him is that I'm trying to understand how starting another war with somebody who was loyal to the Empire is going to allow you to go back to the beginning. Because I mean, it feels like there's a little bit of a cat and mouse between Balon and Thrawn,
Mm,
where like Balon is
Balon,
like, I gotta dodge this guy because I know he doesn't trust me
Yeah.
or
yeah,
whatever.
and he wants, and from what I'm sensing, he wants to stay there because I think that's where he thinks the key is.
Yeah.
Because the apprentice is like, dude, we're gonna be stranded, and it's like, and and your problem is, it's
Because
all part of the plan.
I think the key to everything is the witches, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
The
the witches
witches
of
and their energy, and I think he's planned to
Rita's
use it.
crew.
Yeah. I think he's gonna use it. I mean, obviously now I'm just, I'm spinning here, I'm spitballing here.
we are all.
What I think he wants to do is, I think he wants to stay on the planet when they go to war, learn more about the witch's energy, go back in time. So I think to where the first Jedi are, and then I think he's going to try and change the first Jedi to either have his teaching, or he wants to become the first Jedi and then start his teachings so that it trickles down throughout history. It would be an interesting concept because then I guess Ahsoka and them would probably time travel with him. I'm assuming he won't just go one man, and then we'll have like this weird time travel Star Wars
Which,
story.
they
which
better not. They better not do the whole what is it? Not Far From Home. No Way Home thing where now they're retconning everything because they went back in time. Where Anakin is never
Yeah.
evil and no,
yeah,
please.
it's going to
Wait,
be
when
one
did
of
they
those.
retcon in No Way Home? I don't recall.
But I mean, every villain got a satisfactory ending, and it's like they were never villains, most.
Yeah,
No, but they still, when they go back, they're still going back to the point in time when they died. It
Yeah.
didn't change what actually happened to those guys. It's just like, because remember with Doc Ock, he was never villainous. it was the arms in his mind or whatever, which
But
that never made sense to me because it's just like if there's a chip at the back, just take it off. I don't know.
they still all got redeemed, even if
Yeah.
it does change that. But my point is, I hope they don't do that in Star Wars, where
Oh,
Or they
okay.
might do like an endgame thing where they keep going back in time to various points that we've seen before. So they might go back to, they might go
I
back to
don't
like
want to
Rogue
see that.
One
yeah,
and then be on the planet when they're fighting for the Death, and then zoom, go back to like, let's say Episode 2 where they're on the Clone Wars and it's the Sand Planet, zoom. We might see Qui-Gon again. They might just do that. Oh, I mean, like, even the original trilogy, they might go to certain points. Might
Oh,
get
they might.
I don't need to see that. I
I,
take this series forward, please. I'm tired of the past. Yo.
Yeah.
I
Kill the past.
I sincerely hope they're wrong, because if that's the case, you're gonna see all this lame ass, dumb ass, boring ass choreography in a period of time where the choreography was on point, and I refuse to sully my eyes with that. I will happily not watch Ahsoka if that were to happen.
guys.
But I
Speaking
mean, this is Star Wars, dude. This is a great time. They probably want to put Jar Jar back into the yeah,
No.
and
But
Jar
Jar
Jar,
Jar.
He redeemed his.
Jar Jar, the only chance he's got is if he comes back as a Sith Lord. Other than that,
but speaking of choreography, am I the only one who felt like it was way too convenient for Sabine not to be shot in the head, guys? Like
Dude.
4 bandits kept
I am with you. I'm with
missing
you.
her.
no, you know what it
And
is.
they kept hitting her shoulders, her arms.
You
her
know what it
goggles.
is, right? You know what it is, right? Like this show can't decide whether Sabine is a Jedi or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she
Yes.
has powers. That's the only way that I can explain in my mind how she's dodging all of these shots is that
Right.
she's using some form of the force to make it deflect to her shoulders. Because they keep playing with this idea that she's a Jedi,
Why?
and I'm like, commit. I don't want by the next. I like-
protagonist no jutsu.
Like I don't
Yeah,
want this
it's
thing of
plot-
I don't want
it's-
this thing of word halfway. Just make a decision. She's a
Yeah.
Jedi or she's not. I'm tired of
feel
this.
Did you open the door, or was it just convenient that Thrawn came? Did you
No,
use
I
the force
get
to
you.
open the door, or was it just convenient that Thrawn came at the right time?
But I'm also not genuinely interested in Sabine's journey as a Jedi. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I slightly care, but I'm saying, to me, I just feel like it's bad writing to do this. Was this Schrodinger's cat situation
It
for
is.
4 episodes, and it's just like, again, we're not supposed to be here for Sabine. 1, 2. This is just taking time from other elements that you could flesh out.
Wasting
So just
time.
make a decision and move on.
But also, like, what I liked about the original crew with Luke, Leia, and Han was not everybody is a Jedi. Everybody has different things
Yeah.
that they can contribute to the team. So now, if you have Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra as Jedi, then it's just 3 Jedi who are just going around doing things. That's a bit boring.
And I
I
think-
like the mixed
think the-
But I mean, are you enjoying her as doing her Mandalorian thing?
I mean,
Let's put it
That's a-
this way. The frustrating
No.
thing is she's not Mandalorian enough to be a Mandalorian. She's not Jedi enough to be a Jedi. And I think that's why Ahsoka said it. She was just training her for herself. What are you?
But I think Pila was right. Pila did say that this might be a potential spin-off, so there might be a Sabine spin-off, guys.
There's going
Well, I'm not
is
watching
this
that.
a-
I don't think.
no, I don't think it's a spin-off. I think it's worse. I think the sequel to this is not going to be Ahsoka season 2. I think it's going to be the Star Wars
Like,
time
Ghana.
travel, blah blah blah, and then Sabine
Let
will be
me-
the main character. Ahsoka
They're,
will be.
they're
the
they're not
mentor.
gonna. They're not gonna be time traveling. They're gonna go back to the one point, and they're gonna kick it off as the one thing that's gonna anger me more than anything. They did hint that they're planning on making this thing called Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And if this is the way they're going to get us to Knights of the Old Republic, I quit. Honest to God.
Okay, what are you
As
thinking?
in-
Walk us through this. Some of
this
us
is
didn't
a-
check out Knights of
Yeah,
the
this
Old
is
Republic.
pre-era. I mean, I think I forget
Oh,
that robot's name, but the robot also alluded to that, where he was talking about the first era of Star Wars. But sorry,
Yes.
please continue.
Look, there's a game called Knights of the Old Republic. You'll see the trailer. I'll send you the trailer.
Ish, I think we lost you again.
You there, Debza?
Okay. Oh,
There
Here
you
we
go.
go.
oh God. what's his name?
Nah, this is not
Mr.
Elon. This is Kathleen Kennedy. She's mad at you.
Catherine, Miss Kennedy and Mr. Filoni. Listen, I'm talking. The more I talk about it, the more people are gonna want to watch your products, right? Right?
Yeah.
I'll do this for you, right?
Now we're groveling now. Please, Lucasfilm, please.
Come on, stop
Let
sending
the
your
force be
assassins.
with you, fam. Come
You
on.
know? Come on. Look, the strike's almost over, so you can stop now. We don't have to be enemies. Or do you want us to go? Do you want me to go full Lord of the Rings?
Ish.
You want to join the dark side.
Come on.
Also, speaking of which, I know it's a weird tangent, but did you guys feel very much this is fantasy genre? It didn't feel very Star Wars, specifically this episode.
Well, it's that's what Star Wars is. It's supposed to be quote unquote a space opera. It's not necessarily Star Trek, which is like a sci-fi. So there are many things that happen in Star Wars that we're just supposed to give us a
I
special.
mean, the force is magical also.
The Force
I
is
get
does
you.
it just
I
does
get
whatever.
you. But I just felt like this episode was just way more like I'm in
because,
Lord of the Rings territory.
because of the witches and the castles and all of that stuff. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
I felt so wasted. Like I felt like I wasted my time watching this episode. Apart from apart from Thrawn, I don't want to lie. Maybe I was tired because we recorded late last night. But apart from Thrawn, there was nothing that really caught my attention. Even when Sabine met Ezra, I'm like,
it was so anticlimactic for me. I was so let down.
After going through all this trouble, this is how you
No, something is happening. Either this is being written by AI or like something.
It was so
happening.
wooden.
No, because also like it's the like the thing is Thrawn fits that demeanor that they're going for in the show. He's monotone, he's like threatening, it works for his character. Somebody like Sabine and even Ahsoka, because Ahsoka didn't finish her training, so she's not supposed to be this stoic Jedi. And even then, with the stoic Jedi, Obi had a lot of personality in that first Star Wars. That whole "your father was a great pilot when I met him" and all of that stuff. Like, he had a lot of personality. I don't know what is going on where these writers are just like, you are going to be the most boring version of this character possible. Because even Ezra didn't give me anything.
So like when they meet and then the shell people start packing up their homes, I was like, this feels so forced. Like, you guys clearly have a lot to talk about, but like the script is like, nah, we need dramatic irony for later. Because I'm like, there's so much. I'm like, why wouldn't you guys just have a conversation? Don't you want to know about the Empire? Don't you want to know how you got here? Don't you want to know about Thrawn?
No, just let me be happy to find you or whatever.
How are we going back home? I mean, that cliffhanger, I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Girl, aren't you going to tell him the truth? Like, I have no idea how I'm going to get you back home. I'm just riding on.
And that's the other thing that is getting frustrating with Sabine. Like, why was she surprised that Balin Skull was not going to honor her agreement? I'm just like,
bad guy doing bad guy things.
What's like, we had a deal, really? The guy with the red lightsaber and the dark things who's working for Thrawn,
who just killed Ahsoka. Who just killed Ahsoka, by the way. You don't know he's alive.
And you don't even feel bad that Ahsoka is dead?
That's true, actually.
No, I mean,
you be like, Ahsoka,
because but like, you know that. So, you're talking about Sabine. Yeah. She's not
because she can't use the Force to feel anything. So, aren't you worried that your master is dead?
Is there not even like a scene of like, I wonder if Ahsoka's like just? I mean, you don't even have to say it, but just a shot of you looking sad. Like, I wonder what happened to Ahsoka.
There's no emotional connection. There's no look. As much every time I start this review, I won't lie to you. I always say I want to be positive. I want to be positive about this.
I'm not there.
But
I'm roasting.
The more we talk, I kid you not, the more we talk and the more I think about it, the less and less I like it. I get feeling like, guys, you could have done so much better. Why is Sabine a mixture of the Mandalorian, of Ahsoka, and of Luke Skywalker, we'll figure it out as we get there type mindset.
Ish.
It doesn't what.
Ichigo, is that you?
Yeah.
She's a mixture of she's a half
And
Mandalorian,
also-
half Jedi, half. She's gonna be half everything. She's gonna be half Chewie by the time the show's over.
And clearly Ezra is the Goku. Is like,
Bruh.
yeah, eventually you found me, and it's like, dude, you're not even. So you were just waiting for me to find you, even though you didn't know how you got here.
He said it took you long enough. I almost punched the TV screen when I heard that. It's like it took
Like,
you.
dude,
Yeah.
My guy, your plan was to sacrifice yourself to
Right.
keep Thrawn from the Empire. At the very least, I would have been pulling a Kenshin. When you came back to get me, I would have been angry. Like, why did you come?
Mm.
Because you knew basically
Hey,
what
dog,
all
he
my
was tired of the rock people. You heard that language. You sit with that for 5 minutes. Talk to that people for 5 minutes and tell me you weren't annoyed. I'm going home.
But also, like, I felt like it would have been more interesting if she got there and he was like battle scarred. The people that he was with had tension of him living with him, because let's say Thrawn has been chasing him and hunting him, and the people there have been suffering casualties because of that. But I didn't feel any of that. It would have been way more interesting, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Instead of just, hey,
and those
Yeah.
bounty
Well, I
those
mean,
weird people that the Sabine fought were like also after him for some reason.
I mean, to be fair, like as we said earlier, Thrawn said they don't have enough troops, so maybe there was a situation which I hate filling in backstory like this. I feel like we should have some more show. And like, if you're gonna just take the complete focus off of Ahsoka, which is what they did for this episode, then show us Ezra dealing with these guys, because then maybe there's a situation where Ezra was killing so many of them that they were just like, maybe it's not worth the investment to go after this guy or something.
But
Like-
that's what I hate. I hate it when shows do that whole thing of when a character's off screen, they haven't done anything. They're like in a frozen plot vacuum where nothing happened to them. They didn't do anything, and then when we reconnect with them, they're in the exact same spot we left them. It's so
like, what was the
unfulfilling.
point?
The only thing that grew was the beard.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, is that if we saw Ezra in action or something, and to something to indicate that they were having some sort of back and forth, I felt like it would have been much more connective. Because remember, this show is banking on a lot of people that watch Rebels. And that's unfair. That's not right. Like, you need to make new people fall in love with these characters. Like, you need to make guys like me. And also, the frustrating thing is, these actors are not bad. Like, even the actress who's playing Sabine, you can see she has the range. But the writing is kicking their ass.
Yeah.
Like, the writing is just whooping every actor in this series.
Yeah.
Like, Rosario's not even bringing the performance that she should be bringing, because I'm sure they told her she has to be this certain way. The Ezra guy looks like he has some sort of personality, but he can't show it because you just have to hug for 5 seconds and just be like, work, and then you're off screen. Like, Ray Stevenson is rising above the material, but it's even hard for his performance to get there, because like, it's like when he has to talk about something, they'll be having these long pregnant pauses for some reason, that stuff. And it's like, guys, who is in this writing room? Who, like...
And
I love Ray Stevenson's character, but every time he talks, it like reminds me of how much I hate this show, because he keeps teasing a better show. Because he keeps talking about like, yes, in the next show, I'm gonna be blah 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 and blah blah. And I'm like, fuck, why didn't you just make this the show?
You know,
like where he's talking to his student, which I think at least she said a lot in this episode, which was great. When he was like, the difference between you and Ezra is Ezra was trained to be a Jedi, but you are trained to be much more. I'm like, what is that? What are we talking about? Don't just tease us. Tell us.
He's a walking trailer.
Yeah.
He really is. Every single time he talks, I'm like, damn, I can't wait for the next episode.
yeah, he is a
and she
walking
also made another face, which was nice. It was nice to see her have some range as an actress.
It's better than.
Yeah, no, she was good in this episode. I don't want to lie.
But here's the issue. The bad guys are being more interesting than the people that we have to follow. This is terrible. Because if they kill Thrawn, they kill the show. If they kill Balin Skull, the show is done. But
the
like,
witch is starting to be more interesting now for some reason.
Yeah, because Thrawn is back. So he's like the last piece that kicked off the bad guys are interesting thing. We've got Thrawn being an interesting bad guy who is not taking any of this. Oh, look, you're a witch from Dathomir. So what?
So what?
Young one, listen to me now.
Mm.
Oh, we need to hurry it back. What's a few more days? I want everything that this temple has, and I'm going to take 3 days.
Right.
Those witches are coming back with me. Tough cookies. He's not. He's like I said. He's the perfect asshole, and that's what he is right now. He just comes in and he runs the show. He's like, it's the Throne show now. Whenever I'm on screen, it's all about me.
Right.
Look
And
at me,
then-
Ahsoka. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
But
And
guys,
then-
how many episodes are left here?
Oh Lord, they're not
Doesn't
going to be
feel-
able to swing this.
Doesn't feel like
There's not enough space. There's not enough time.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think my original theory is right. This is just a tease for the next thing. This was just
And this
is Ray Winston doing it again.
This is and usually the episode 7 is the episode where everything goes wrong, aka Grogu gets kidnapped and the ship gets blown up, aka you have something I want.
Oh my gosh, that was so perfect. Can we actually bring him back and have a proper way to deal with the character? He was actually cool. I fucking hated what they did with him.
And it's Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon is a completely new character that they brought in. We didn't have he wasn't carrying the weight of Throne because Throne we knew from way back then. So I love Moff Gideon.
Yeah, but apparently in season 3, what they did with him, people are just like, yo,
Yeah,
you
but
guys
that's
butchered this man.
Yeah.
They did because this meticulous genius guy and all he cared about was cloning a Jedi and stealing Beskar armor. The same guy of you have something I want, and then he has the audacity of saying, without your armor, Mandalorians are nothing. While dressed in the most Beskar armor I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shout out to Moff Gideon, man.
The only other Moff that I know of. It's only 2 Moffs. I wonder, like, when are we going to go into the Moff lineage? How do you become a Moff?
I mean,
You gotta
you
find
know,
the-
one thing I appreciate about our review or analysis of the show is at least we don't have wild takes. Some people think Darth Maul is going to appear in the show.
Oh,
some,
Lord.
some people think Luke is going to appear in the show. I'm like, I've seen like random ass internet takes.
No,
I'm
no.
like, what the fuck are you guys smoking? And watching? yeah.
Filoni is not going to do that.
You know-
Filoni is just not going to do
They're
that.
doing it. Those reviewers are doing it for clickbait. Let's be honest, because they know
Yeah.
if they just put Darth Maul and then they put a picture of Darth Maul in the thumbnail and go like,
No. You also need to remember there has to be 2 circles in the corner on some random wall that people are going to be like, this is the sacred text of the Jedi. Cantinez just
Yeah.
cracks.
Yeah.
and
Somebody
then
forgot to
and then,
tweet.
hidden details they don't want you to know.
yeah, the foreshadowing that says Darth Maul will be back. Because the only link I can think of that says Darth Maul is going to appear is because the witches of Dathomir are basically the same species as Darth Maul.
Or if we're gonna play this game,
That's
then
it.
fine. Here's my conspiracy theory. So the whole time, what's Ray Stevenson's character? What's his name?
Balin Skull.
Balin Scar. Okay, here's my conspiracy theory, internet.
Yes.
So Balin Scar is actually Qui-Gon Jinn,
Skull.
and he drank the polyjuice potion, and he's actually he never died the whole time. He's been secretly living amongst all these wars. Darth Maul never killed him.
Yeah.
He's now going to go back in time so you can kill Darth Maul from actually trying to kill him. Then he wants to go back in time so he can kill Yoda and the whole Jedi Order because secretly he was a Sith the whole time. There we go.
Obi-Wan
Conspiracy.
was high.
Yes.
It's Qui-Gon Jinn.
So
And you
Obi-Wan
know-
was
and-
high when you saw Qui-Gon in Obi-Wan.
Yes, and you know
Yeah.
what?
No, it
Here's
means
a-
that Qui-Gon just pretended to be asleep the entire time he was on the floor. He was just like, did this guy kill Darth Maul yet? No, my plan is not in action. It's
And foreshadowing. And you know what? I've got the proof that proves the statement. How come everybody who got stabbed with a lightsaber survived? Think about it. There's no way that Qui-Gon died.
But how the
Exactly.
hell is Qui-Gon so much younger than old man Obi-Wan though?
That's why I say he's drinking the polyjuice potion.
Oh.
Yes. Keep himself
Because there
young.
is polyjuice in this world now. He's drinking the polyjuice potion
Yes.
and he's there.
And
Wait, do
the
we know
master
any
effect.
dudes? Well, I guess does Finn count as surviving a lightsaber stab? I mean, he got blasted in the back, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to look at it and I was like, I'm not to make this a gender thing, but I was just like, a lot of these females are surviving these stabbings. I don't know if the guys are surviving. I'm
No,
just
I
thinking
guess
about
Finn
it.
counts.
Here's the thing that I
Yeah,
wanted
Finn
to-
counts.
Yeah,
Okay.
Finn got his
I wanted
back
to ask you
popped
guys
off.
something.
Oh,
Development.
and the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, he also survived it. Yeah. How?
A blast. He survived a blast.
he
No, he
survived.
got stabbed by
He got
Reva,
stabbed
I think.
by a lightsaber in literally the second episode of
All right, and like when
Obi-Wan.
she stabbed him, it was like that was a critical. Like
Oh,
you don't just
yeah.
walk that off.
Wah!
It wasn't even like it was a stomach or anything. It looked like he went through it, like where his heart was
It
supposed to
went
be.
through.
Maybe he's an alien. Maybe he can shift his physiology. I don't know. Star Wars, like lightsabers are either they can cut through metal or they cut through nothing. I don't know what's
No in
happening.
between. No in between.
Lightsaber logic.
Lightsaber
But I
logic.
wanted to say, you mentioned that I don't know. Remember who mentioned this? Like in the first trilogy, you had Luke who was a Jedi, Leia, and Han, right? I think they were initially. I think J.J. Abrams, when they did A Force Awakens, they were trying to do that. You had a Jedi, and then you had Poe, who was more like
He was a pilot, yeah.
he's a pilot, and then you had Finn, but I don't know if Finn was supposed to be like the Princess Leia of the group.
No, I think what was it supposed to be? Because remember, Leia was using a lot of blasters. So I think the idea is that it was supposed to be this, because they retcon in the movie his position in the stormtroopers, which when you look at the dialogue, you were like, how did you guys reconcile this? Because you open with Finn coming out with Kylo Ren to come to this village to do this massacre thing, and like Finn is the only one that doesn't pull the trigger, but he's supposed to be part of this high-tech death squad. And then also you go to the comic books, he apparently had like a perfect shooting rate and all of that stuff. So I was thinking, my theory was like, okay, first off, I was hoping he's a Jedi because they putting him with
Because
the lightsaber. I'm hoping.
Yes.
I'm hoping.
A
Then-
Jedi cover, no?
yeah, and then what I was hoping was because there's I think in Legends there's a stormtrooper who became a Jedi, so people thought that they were gonna mirror that, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe they're gonna switch it up. Maybe it's a guy who's resistant. It was that idea that I was talking to you guys the other day. It's like he's a guy who's resistant to the Force or whatever, but he can only use guns or whatever because maybe the Sith brainwashing and all of that Force power didn't work on him. So maybe certain Force powers don't work on this guy. I thought they were going to go down that route. And I was like, fine, if he's not going to be a Jedi, make him like a blaster, badass general dude. And then they go and turn around and say he was mopping toilets. I was like, no, that's not what you said in the beginning.
You know?
Also, why would the guy who mops toilets be up the death squad?
But
Why would he know the layout of the layer if he's just washing toilets? That doesn't make sense.
How does he know about the oscillator that knocked out? Look, if you're gonna go about this, if you're gonna tear this movie apart, we're gonna have to do another start another Star Wars run. We've talked about the Star Wars movies before. We're gonna have to redo it again. It's fine. I don't care. But
I agree with your point, though. Like the dynamics should have been. You have the character who's good at this, good at that, good at this, good at that. So they don't become like it doesn't become like one thing.
Yes. I mean, look at Kishimoto. Kishimoto did that maybe like 7 times in Naruto alone. You know, you have a Naruto type, you have a Sasuke type, you have a Sakura type. Like 5 versions of these people.
literally, each one of the teams is a copy and paste of that trope. If you look at it carefully,
Yes.
There's team. I don't know if that team 6 or 7 or whatever. What I don't care about the numbers, but if you look at each character,
Like Neji is Sasuke, Rock Lee is Naruto. Like,
Yeah.
and 10 is Sakura. Like, it's
and then of course we've got that guy with the bugs.
Shino.
Oh, Shino,
That's
yeah.
Sasuke. That's Sasuke.
That's Sasuke.
Yeah.
But like to your point though, what I'm saying is because the reason why I'm pushing more Jedi in a sense is because I feel like there is a way to make them all distinct in a certain sense and make people certain like good. Like for me, what I would hope is there would be a guy like maybe even Thrawn if they were gonna do this. I don't know if they're gonna do this, but maybe he's just like Jedi are the issue here. Or anybody who has the Force, anybody who can use the Force in this particular configuration is the issue here. So no more Sith, no more Jedi. All of you wiping you all out to the point where the Jedi and the Sith are looking at each other like, "Hey, this guy is figuring us out." And I know we have beef, but maybe the order should just be all of us together. Maybe we can figure out something because this guy's just wiping us out. Like he's just figuring out how Jedi Force powers work, and he's just wrecking us like all like up and down and left and right. So that would be like a cool thing where like there's a hodgepodge of like just like 4 or 5 Jedi. Some of them are Sith, and they have to create a new order or something. But like I think there's a way to make people distinct even if they kind of do the same thing because like everybody is a ninja in Naruto, but I just don't think these writers are putting enough work in the writing room, or they've all quit already and the executives are just pressing chat GPT the whole time.
I think the thing that annoys me the most is Dave Filoni has done this before. Like if you watch The Bad Batch, it's clones. They're all the same person, but they all have distinct personalities. They all have their own set of traits. They all have their own set of skills. And when you watch Ahsoka, what are we just gonna get? Team Bland Jedi.
Yeah.
I honestly want to say this that I think we can see the effects of how badly undercated the writers have been and the VFX teams have been. Because if this is the quality that.
Hey, Kathleen, come on, stop it.
Oh, I get with this. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. You will not silence me. You've declared war now. This is war. You will not silence me. Listen carefully. Listen carefully now. This mess you're in is because you did not take care of your writers, and it's now reflecting in the quality of the products you are releasing. If this is the best you can do, and I'm talking about Ahsoka, and we can also talk about Samuel L. Jackson's performance in
Oh, Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
No, but that's not Samuel Jackson's fault. That's not his fault.
No. No, but everybody in that show was kind of off. Everybody in that show was a bit off.
Exactly. It's showing that your actors can't cover up the piss poor writing that has come through with this performance. Samuel L. Jackson can act, guys. Don't lie to me. So can Rosario. So can everybody. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Star Wars issue has absolutely nothing to do with the cast. They have the brilliant cast, and I will always love the actors. I will always love those actors. I'll never send any hate to them. I will have an issue with your writers because you didn't take care of them, and now it's showing. And
but also
the best that you can do.
I have to add a disclaimer. I think a lot of it. I mean, when we because a lot of us are complaining about the writing, right? Yeah. I think we all have a problem with it. I do too, but I think my extension to that criticism is also I'm not pinpointing saying whoever's in the writing room is bad, because I know you guys probably get doctrine from the studio head.
Yes.
The studio head wants to sell this and they want to sell that and they want to phase this and they want to phase that and they want to do. So I'm not hating on the writer's room. I'm pretty sure you have a very hard job. I'm pretty sure you're probably getting dictated what is supposed to be in the show by the bigwig. So,
that's to Tebello's point, though, is that what he's saying is that whatever you guys are doing back there, not taking care of the writers, because that doctrine stuff also is something that impedes writer creativity big time. And also, like, I think maybe also the direction, because some of the direction of these scenes also, it's falling flat in a sense and all of that stuff. Like the most life Sabine has for me in the episode is maybe one where she's banging against the rail where she's like, we had a deal, I guess. And then also when she's talking to her new acquired pet and she's like, you bailed on me or whatever. Like that's the most I ever get to see life from that particular actress in that role. And it's just like, maybe also the direction is suffering. It's just like, whatever you guys are doing, this writer strike is whooping your ass. Just figure it out. Just pay these people And look at it this way: if your stock plummets, if people don't care about Star Wars anymore, these $200 million budgets that you are bashing out are
Will
going to be
vanish.
wastes of money.
And the
It's going to
jobs.
be a waste.
Jobs,
They're
guys.
going to vanish. They're going to
No,
vanish.
we can't talk about them about the jobs. They don't care about the jobs. We have to talk about them how they understand.
The
The
bottom line.
money that you want is not going to come if the product sucks. If people don't care about, like, the only thing sustaining Star Wars is the fans that you keep jabbing in the face.
Yeah.
And eventually they're just going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of this black eye. I can't make any excuses for my abusive husband. I'm out. I'm divorcing Star Wars.
Can I say something? I want to say that there's something that I've also realized, and I'm sure you guys have also realized it.
Mhm.
I feel like these execs are like, we need to do a Game of Thrones. Because for me, Sabine and Ahsoka basically separating and going through their own adventures or whatever, it's a Game of Thrones trope, right? And it seems like also Marvel, especially Marvel, it seems like they're like, let's get Game of Thrones actors and they will save our projects.
Oh, hold up.
And it never worked. Eternals flopped.
Yeah.
Emilia Clarke came in Secret Invasion. That didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Because the writers are not getting paid.
Yeah, and they're trying to do this smart mind game
If
thing
you
where
want-
everyone's got plans and they're trying to one up each other, but it's the dumb version of it.
If you want a Game of Thrones level performance, you need to have a Game of Thrones level writing.
Yeah.
It took how many J.R.R. Martin, how many decades to eventually get somewhere? Please finish the books. I know you're watching this, J.R.R. Martin. Look at me. Finish the book, please. Your fans are driving me crazy.
Oh, hell no. He's trying to sue ChatGPT right now. He's trying to make real money.
Right. My God. Like, there's a genuine fear. It makes me laugh. There's a genuine fear that this man might die without finishing this book. It's a
Well,
scary thing.
for me, I could only do the first season, and then I was like, this is clearly not for me.
I
So
also read a long time ago that he actually told the screenwriters that, or rather is it not screenwriters? Who are these guys?
D&D.
Yes, that should he die, this is how he wants it to end. I don't know if it's true, but I read it somewhere.
One, he gave them the overview about who ends up being king and everything like that. So, canonically speaking, according to him, the theory is Bran ends up as king. We
Yes.
get that.
Yes.
But
I never had an issue with that, to be honest.
no, I have the biggest issue. I respect him as a writer.
you guys would have to tell me. I don't know.
Look, guys, I never watched Game of Thrones religiously. I was never one of those big fans. Like I told you, the moment they introduced a whole lot of sex and fantasy, I just like, I'm out. I don't care about boobs and tits, so it's not for me.
Right.
I do, but I don't need to see it in my live action. I don't need to. I'm like, it's nice to look at, but like, can we get back to the story? I don't need all of this.
I mean, credit to me, like the thing that attracts me to most of the fantasy, the bigger the armies, the more epic the clashes, the more you get me. So I love that. So Game of Thrones was never really hooked me. But when people came to describe what they loved about the show, and I watched all these YouTube videos about how they break down the dialogues between characters and stuff like that, that attention to detail, I have nothing but respect for, because that if you want to give us that, you need to do all that level of working and writing, and you need to work with those actors. Peter Dinklage did the most spectacular job as
Tywin Lannister.
It's not Tyrion.
No, is it Tywin?
Tyrion
Lannister. Yeah.
I mean, and for a moment there, we didn't care about the character being. It's a dwarfism.
Side note though,
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin broke his own rules, because there was times where Tyrion was supposed to die, and I was like, is he gonna pull the trigger? And George didn't do it, but he was like, my show is about killing all my favorite characters, killing the favorite character, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, all your favorite characters. And they're like, oh my God, Rob Stark, woo! Red Wedding. J.R.R. Martin is the reason why so many people are still afraid of weddings to this day.
Sorry, guys. Just to go back to Ahsoka, I just want to say, I don't want to understate how disappointing the Ezra reveal was.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so disappointing. Like, think
Underwhelming.
about it. We've been working up to this moment for like 6
Have we?
episodes.
They were
Have we?
This was it. This
They were
was the
forcing us
mystery
to care
part.
about this Ezra guy. Like they were
Yes.
forcing us to care.
No, but like again, we have to look at the show that we're watching, guys. This show
Yes.
is lacking focus. I don't think they were building to Ezra. Like they
They
were just
weren't.
throwing the name around, but they didn't do any actual work to get us invested in who Ezra is supposed to be.
Yes.
Like we just get clips, we get, oh, this is how she feels, this is how Ahsoka feels, and yada. It's like you're telling and not showing. I mean,
Yeah.
if we want to do this situation, take some scenes from Rebels and like put them in flashback to make some connectivity
Yeah.
tissue here so we can see who this guy is so that when we find him we have some idea of who he's supposed to be.
And it's weird
Credit-
because it's like you give us a great introduction of Thrawn, but you gave us the worst introduction of
No, but Thrawn had more build up. Like that's the thing. When people were talking about Thrawn, people were scared of Thrawn. Like Ahsoka even tells Sabine, "We're prepared to ditch your boyfriend if it means Thrawn comes back. If there's
Yeah.
any chance Thrawn comes back, no, he can stay there with his whales or whatever. Thrawn cannot come back. The whole."
that-
Like even when the general is talking to the council and she's like, yeah, Thrawn is out there. Even the council, like you see them look at each other like, yo, we need to think about this for a second.
Let's pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the credit to you. I mean, my most watched shorts in my channel has to do with Throne. That's how much of an impact Throne is.
yeah.
It's also my most disliked video by most disliked short by far.
Get dislikes.
Is it worse than Vegeta?
I love a Vegeta. I have no dislikes on my Vegeta post.
Did you get
Ah,
100%
how did you manage that one, Chief?
Because-
The force is strong with this one. How did you get around that?
you got dislikes, bro?
Like I told you that one of my first commentators like, I want to disagree, but you have a point. And that's what he says every time you listen to this podcast. It's like, I want to say something, but your guys are making too much sense. And that's the thing about my opinion with Vegeta. It makes sense no matter how much it hurts your feelings. Thrawn, however, I know who those dislikes came from. And you've been trying to interrupt my video this entire time. I see you. I can I am also a Jedi, like my father before me.
Oh, guys,
I
by
can
the way,
sense it.
you guys know that Patty Jenkins was attached to a Star Wars project, right?
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins directed Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
What's
also
happening
did
with
Wonder Woman 84, so hits and misses.
We're not going to talk about that one, right?
I think that show, if I'm not mistaken, is in development hell because they don't know what they want to do and where they want to fit it in. Because it's supposed to be a show about, I think, fighter pilots in the Star Wars universe, but I think they don't know which universe they want to put it in. I also think Kathleen is having a hard time with studios because after Wonder Woman, she's been trying to fight with Warner about
You mean Patty?
Wonder Woman 3 and
Patty Jenkins, yeah.
and Wonder Woman 3 and the creative direction she wants to take. So I think she's having the same fight with the Star Wars creative team. But also, let's not forget, Star Wars has probably canceled the most shows, the most movies it's announced, and so many creative people have stepped in and stepped out of the Star Wars universe. I mean, remember there was a time where the Game of Thrones people were supposed to make a Star Wars show. Remember the time when Ryan Johnson was supposed to make
Taika was also supposed to make a
Taika. So I don't when Star Wars says there's a new show coming, I don't believe shit until I see it.
when Star Wars says there's a new show coming, must flip a coin, and whether it lands on heads or tails to determine whether the show will happen or not.
Yeah.
Maybe even not. Maybe
And I mean,
even-
Kathleen is also gonna leave, so there's all that in there.
Even Gulma Del Toro, you know Gulma Del Toro, the Pacific Rim guy, the Hellboy guy, the Blade 2 guy.
Yeah.
He was supposed to do a Star Wars project.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I
there was a
think
time.
Quentin Tarantino was supposed to do
Yes.
that or something.
No, he wanted to make a Star Trek movie.
No, I think he was attached to some Star Wars something.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Let me tell you something. There was a time where your prestige as a director or as a producer was if you worked at a Star Wars movie, you like got a notch to your belt. It was one of those things that everybody was seeking after, and Disney screwed it up to the point where nobody's willing to touch this with an iron pole
Yeah.
because everybody wanted to create the next best thing after George Lucas, and then we have
Ish. Here we
Yeah.
go.
I think
and then we have
Yeah, no, they
Then we have-
don't like you, my guy. Dave Filoni is using all of the dark side to disrupt your streams.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Look at this outfit. Do you see this white?
And you know what's funny? It only happens when you talk. It's so weird. It never happens when you just.
No, he's the host, so he's to blame for everything we say on this podcast. It's his channel, so they are targeting him specifically.
I must go into my meditation pose.
Side note, gents. Did Star Wars cancel more stuff than DC? Because I feel like DC was also announcing a whole slate of things that just never came to light.
But
Yeah,
Marvel-
you're right. They're
Marvel
probably on
cancelled-
par.
I think Marvel cancelled the most though. Where's Blade? Where's Gambit? Where's
No, I think Marvel, like from phase 1 till 3, they were pretty much on the mark with everything, and then phase 4 it fell apart because people just decided not to care about the source material anymore, which was like, this is how y'all got famous.
This is how you got. This is how you
I
got
think
paid.
it's Star Wars.
In my
I think
opinion,
it's Star Wars. The reason why I say that is because they announce. Not only do they announce the project, they usually make posters for them. They say who's the creative director, who's the writer, and then the shows still don't happen. At least the other ones, they just say, "Oh, we're making Green Lantern," but they don't tell you who's making it. You know what I mean?
they had plans for a Star Wars 10, 11, and 12.
Speaking of Star Wars, they should make a Green Lantern movie.
I mean,
well, they're gonna do a detective thing, right? James Gunn is busy doing. It's gonna be like a detective thing because ultimately Green Lanterns are cops, right? So
yeah.
why they're gonna do that?
I would rather get a static movie. Thank you. Like, can we please see this guy? Yo, it's been forever. He had one 4-season cartoon and he just disappeared. Well, he shows up on Young Justice, but that doesn't count.
As long as
I think static would work better as an animated movie, like like Spider-Verse.
or a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is also the way people look at animation versus live action. Like, stuff doesn't really fall out from animation the way it does live action, which is criminal. But like, yeah, for a character like Static.
but to Pila's credit, just how much merchandising have they gotten out of Miles Morales thanks to
It's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
Spider-Verse.
compare it to somebody like, for example, Iron Man, if you do that comparison, like
True.
Iron Man's got so much stuff, and he's also got cartoon appearances and all of that stuff as well. So, you want for Static to be perennial, so that they reboot him every time. Because I don't know, Miles to me feels like he has an end date. Like, there's going to be some point where they can't push the character any further.
Because
Yeah.
there comes a point where the multiverse is just where he is going to be effective as, because if he's on his own universe, he's Spider-Man, and we're automatically gonna start comparing him to the one Spider-Man, the Spider-Man we all grew up loving.
Yeah. But anyway,
Someone once asked a question like, will there be a time where Peter Parker is no longer relevant as Spider-Man to a younger generation where Miles is
Never.
gonna...
Nah, I don't see it. I like Miles, but
already Civil War, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home have happened already. Like, the generation coming up now is already loving Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And also, he's there in in the Spider-Verse as well.
Yeah.
And like old fans, these newer fans don't have the same dedication as older fans. Older fans are there, like, ride or
Peter.
die for real. Like, that's what, like, Star Wars, as much as we can talk smack about it, it's going to be a very hard product to kill. Disney is actively trying.
They've given it all types of terminal cancer, and it's still looking at them like, what?
like if thingy, why am I? If Mark Hamill came out today and just did like a Star Wars pose, like he doesn't even have to cosplay, he doesn't even have to hold anything. If he just did like the
He does
forces with me
this.
or something,
He does this.
the internet would break.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like like even the indie fans, like some of them, like they didn't like that last one, but they still went and all of that stuff. So like old fans are hardcore ride or die. They buy the merch. They will keep this thing will sustain itself.
I
So
mean,
Peter Parker fans are the same.
we were at Comic Con. How many Star Wars cosplays do you see? I last count I was watching there's somebody cosplayed as the guy as Anakin. He looked very convincing. There was another one who was from the game. What's the name?
What's
Ginger
it?
guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was literally assembling his lightsaber next to me, like in bits and pieces. I was like, dude, what? How dedicated are you?
Yeah. No, I mean I saw a bunch of Obi-Wans. I
Yeah.
saw a bunch of Leias.
Just
I
now.
saw a bunch of Lukes.
Okay.
I think I also saw. I didn't see a mace. I think I might have saw a Yoda or whatever.
I'm actually kind of curious. Which layer do people dress up now as? As like New
Uh,
Hope layer?
no,
or-
New Hope. No, it was New Hope Leia. I think.
Yeah.
No. I
No.
saw New Hope Leia and I saw Return of the Jedi Leia. I saw
Yes.
both.
Oh, the
And
We,
yeah,
we, we took
definitely,
pictures with
definitely.
the layer in the skimpy outfit, and I was calling myself Jar Jar because I was that much bigger than her. I was like, yeah, I definitely look like Jar Jar Binks. Not Jar Jar Binks.
What did you say? Jabba.
Jabba the
Jabba the
Hutt.
Hutt.
my question was not to be pervy for all the
Yes.
people who are judging me. I was actually asking because I
No,
was curious.
she
I was
wears
curious
the
if people
thing.
dressed up
It's
as
in
like.
the trilogy. That's not on us. That's not our fault.
Yeah. I was more curious
And
if people dressed up as like new Leia, like the one from the J.J. Abrams trilogy.
General Leia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you mean? Are you talking about General Leia?
Yes, General Leia.
I don't know who that character is. Never heard of her. It's
no,
part of the
General Leia
franchise.
didn't hit the way that
Yeah.
that it was supposed to. Even
Uh,
Han, nobody really
uh,
dressed up as like old Han. Or
Yeah.
I didn't see a Kylo Ren. I think
Wow.
2018 was the last time I saw a Kylo Ren. I'm
yeah.
seeing a lot of either from the prequel or from the original trilogy. I'm not seeing anything like
Yeah.
going forward.
R.I.P. Kylo Ren, eh? Yo,
No
okay.
comment. So much for your Knights of Ren.
Ah!
No, that was no. Also, the thing is with like, I mean, JJ came out and said this, and we keep seeing it. The more they release content, like they didn't have a plan for this thing. Like George Lucas, the prequels, I don't think are good movies. Personally, I don't think that they are, but they're a cohesive product.
Yeah.
You can see how Phantom Menace leads to what's this Revenge of the Sith. You can see like the connectivity tissue and the ideas that they had,
Set
and
up
that
payoff. Yeah.
yes, and that there was some things with these actors that where they had chemistry and all of these things going forward. You can see some of that. Like, I mean, I don't like Qui-Gon as a character, but like his interactions with Obi-Wan are memorable and all of those things.
I have a PSA. Sorry, it's a tangent. This is
Understood.
specifically for J.J. Abrams. Please don't touch the things that I like. I'm sure you need to make money, you need to put your kids through school, but please don't touch the things that I like. Don't touch Superman, don't touch Batman, don't touch Star Wars, don't touch any anime property
You
just
you
because now
late
it's
you
getting popular. Don't do Gundam, please. JJ, go make another spy show that you like, that's original. Go do Ally McBeal, the movie. Go do that. Stay away from the things that I
French
like.
season
You're late
six.
for Star Wars,
This is
Chief. He's already been up and through Star Wars.
Yo. No,
But
but
it's
my
happened.
problem is him specifically because
I
I remember when the first
I'm
Star Trek
definitely gonna.
movie. The thing is, Star Wars fans forget because I remember when the first Star Trek movie happened, everyone was like, "J.J. Abrams saved Star Trek." I was like, I don't know about this. This is not. I don't know. This is a bit flashy and there's nothing happening here.
Yeah,
Then when the
like you
second
said,
movie happened, then they were like, "Oh shit." I've been on the
I
JJ.
like those. I like. Maybe it's because I'm not a huge fan of the original series. Like I wasn't exposed to the original that much.
Yeah, me too. Me
But I
too.
love the movies.
I thought they were fine. I thought Chris
Guys,
Pine was also really good.
But there's
guys,
no debate in Star Trek. Like Star Trek, the
I,
whole
I,
thing is about the
we,
philosophical debate. It's smart nigga
yeah,
shit. It's like
yeah.
Ah,
it's supposed to be Game of Thrones, but
It's
JJ Abrams
literally
made it
Star
Transformers.
Wars. He made it Star Wars.
Yeah.
He
okay,
took
okay.
he
I
I don't
don't
he
know
know.
took
any
I
better.
just wanted to say that it seems like you need Anakin / Darth Vader or Palpatine for your movies to work.
No,
Because Rogue One,
because Rise of Skywalker had all the Palpatine that you could want. He
Yeah.
was
and
there down there in the I was in the chamber
mm,
somehow. I don't know how the dark
Yeah.
side of the force makes you survive being thrown off a building or whatever when
And that's
you
the
were clearly
worst movie.
defeated.
wait, yes, I agree with you. But the prequels worked because of those two, and also Rogue One worked because of Darth Vader related plot. Um,
No, he wasn't
Yeah.
really he was more of just an obstacle in that movie. He wasn't really a part of the plot.
but still, he was. What I'm trying to say is, how can I put it? Maybe
He
I'm
was
not.
for the trailer. He was for the trailer. That's what I think.
No, like what I'm trying to say is, instead of a throne, it has to be Darth Vader for it to work.
I
for him
agree
to be
with
a
you
part of it.
that we need that level of villain, but it
Yeah.
can't be them.
Yes.
Yeah, because we can't do the retcon that villains just don't die and they just come back.
Yeah.
We've done this
One,
before; it didn't work.
the only time it works is that you're now making sure that Star Wars becomes the next telenovela.
I mean,
It's going to be Tebello the Beautiful. I did not die again. I came back to life.
I
I
mean,
I took
how
over Ray's body.
how angry would you be if you're watching Korra and then the Fire Lord came back? I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Somehow he
back.
survived.
They did that with,
Yeah,
they
I'm
did that
back,
with
Korra.
they
I
did that
never
with
defeated.
General Zhao, and I didn't understand how General Zhao is still not that old because he was stuck in that land of the water. You know
The
that
spirit
land,
world.
the spirit world. I'm like, but General Zhao, you're supposed to be dead by now, bro.
No, but at the same time, of course, you're in the spirit world, which means technically you're already dead. So,
Oh.
I guess.
yeah,
I need to
what
finish
what
Korra. I need to watch
disappoints
Korra.
what disappoints me is that the ocean spirit watched the love of his life die, and it was only imaginative enough to send him into a mysterious forest where he can wander for all eternity. I'm sorry, my imagination is much crueler than that. I would have made him go through a living hell. I've made him want to drink water for the rest of his life and never feel quenched. Never.
Beautiful.
Imagine if Korra was fighting Amang, and then Amang took off his mask and was like, I'm the clone of the Fire Lord." How ridiculous would this be?
It's been me this entire time, and it's even worse.
No, like
I now know how to stop everyone from bending because that's what Aang did to me.
Yeah.
I stole Aang's power. Why do you sound like Cell though?
that would be funny. I would die. Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But like getting back to this, like just to close it up on this episode 6, Thrawn, right? It's just that he's in the wrong show, in my opinion.
Right.
Like he's in the wrong place. Like I feel like if J.J. Abrams and them had a plan
Yes.
and like they set this up from Force Awakens,
Yes.
like let him be the head of the new what was it? What were they
New
called?
order.
The
The
new
First Order.
Nazis.
The First Order.
The
Oh,
First
sorry.
Order. Yeah, there we go. Let him be the hand behind the First Order. Like if he was so crazy 3D chess that he's playing 3D chess from another universe and he's like the hand behind the First Order and all of that stuff, connecting all of the movies, the guy who manipulated Ben Solo and all of that stuff and everything. Like if they did that or if they retconned that somehow, I would be down for that because then it would be like they're taking this series forward with somebody who's not a Sith, who's just a general, but like because he's such a scary general, it's going to take people with force powers to stop him and his strategies.
Which is exactly what Legends was doing at some point. There's this whole series, it's called the Warlord Arcs, where all different morphs and admirals carved up the empire into their own different sectors. and they're busy fighting against the Republic and each other. It
Yeah, do a riff on, like, what is with these producers and not reading? Are you guys allergic to books? What happened?
they like I think Peter said it once. It's like they want to impose their own creative genius so badly that they're willing to impose it on an IP that already exists, and it's not gonna stick. It's not
Hey
going to
guys,
stick.
here's
Yeah.
my
If you
question, huh? If everything goes well and they iron things out and writers now start getting paid whatever they deserve and all of that, what's gonna happen to all these IPs? Are they gonna retcon everything? What's gonna happen?
Oh no,
You can do it in a way. There's a couple of ways to do this where they can retcon everything to make it work without touching the original trilogy. Like they can, like the First Order is that's the point where you start retconning. The sequel trilogy, that's the point where you start coming in and you can start changing history however you like. And I bet you no one is gonna complain. If they retcon Rise of Skywalker out of canon, is anyone gonna really be mad?
No.
Including the actors, because I know because Daisy Ridley, like what's her name? I can't even remember her
Ray.
name now.
Ray.
Ray. There we go. I was about to say Finn. I don't know
I
why.
agree because I also forgot her name.
Ray
But
Palpatine.
I'm saying Ray got fridged. Anything we were supposed to learn about her, they would just give her more powers that will make her interesting somehow. Because like one of the few interesting threads in Last of the Jedi, and I know there's the Last of the Jedi Defenders, because in my opinion that movie is
Lilo
the
is one
last
of them.
Yes.
no, ruined me. Kylo was nonsense. Ray was nonsense, and my boy Finn wins a fight by accident. Like,
I will let you finish.
like Phasma falls down. Phasma falls down.
And
That's how he
also,
wins.
I'm glad you brought up Phasma because it makes me have something about this episode. What's up with that guy with the human mask in the
Yeah, Enoch.
Oh yeah.
like? Are we getting another Captain Phasma? Was like, have
No,
you not
you know what
the
I
last
think is
time?
happening. Since this series has two main characters, which is Ahsoka and Sabine, one of them has to fight the sub boss.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
I'm pretty sure the last episode is either going to be the guy finds okay, foreshadowing. I'm gonna call it. This is my foreshadowing. This is what I'm feeling because episode 7 is usually something goes wrong. So either Sabine or Ezra are going to die in this episode.
Nah, they won't.
I-
Not now.
Ezra
Not
might.
now.
I think Ezra might be the one
No,
who dies.
I don't
Ezra-
think they're gonna do
I
that.
don't know.
I
But
think
I'm
what they're
curious.
gonna do is they're gonna have what's her face Sabine fight Shin. I think her name is Shin Hati.
Baby
And
Gara.
yeah, and either she's going to unlock her force powers or she's going to Mandalorian so hard that she works her way around the force powers. And then Balin Skull is going to fight against Ezra and maybe get in his head a little bit, but Ezra's going to Jedi up and everything. And then Ahsoka maybe might die to Thrawn's stratagems or something. I don't like. Ezra feels like they want to spin off. Like I feel like he feels like he's also part of spin-off potential somewhere.
Okay,
Because
I get you, but I'm thinking the episode 7 is always something's gonna go disastrously wrong, and this is the episode that something's going to go disastrously. People are going to die.
Say it
It is-
again.
are they though? Because like people have been getting stabbed. People have been getting stabbed.
but in episode 7, someone has to die. If
The
you pay
general,
attention,
the Green
Uh,
General might die. Who knows?
we don't. She didn't even appear.
Yeah, she's not in the whale. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not one of the key players anymore.
Oh, man, it's either someone dies and then Thrawn leaves them and destroys them there. At the same time, he blows up all the whales, and then they are all going to be stuck there while he flies all the way back to normal space, to the normal universe, and then someone look at the Mandalorian. Look at episode the second to last episode where everything goes wrong. Somebody either dies horribly or something has gone very, very wrong.
Which major character from the Mandalorian died?
Okay, in the last season, the one we don't talk about is that big guy who was the general who used to be against Jin, and then suddenly it became his like number one
Oh,
supporter
was he
because
the
he
guy
saved
that
his
gets
son.
healed by Baby Yoda force powers and then
Then he gets literally stabbed to bits and pieces by the Praetorian guards
Uh,
while trying to save everyone. Like, save my son, and then.
No, wait. I'm saying, am I thinking of the right guy? There's the guy that's always welcoming Mando to like
No,
the
no,
city or whatever and gets the jobs for Mando and all of that stuff.
no, no.
that's the
Oh, it's not
Mandalorian.
him.
Yeah, the guy in episode 7 there was that big Mandalorian guy who used to be like a hardcore anti-Jin supporter because
Oh,
he
was
had
he a
the
major
blade.
character?
Well, he became more relatable because they had to show that he has a son and he's like doing everything to save his son. And then when they saved his son, he suddenly became the Mandalorian's biggest fan. So he's like, oh wow, they're becoming friends now. And then episode 7, dead.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't really count like as major to me because like
And
major to me you'd have to be like present. Like for me, major when you talk major, I'm thinking somebody like Jiraiya or whatever. Like he was like ever present throughout the show
Oh,
oh,
and
okay, no,
interacting with the
no,
main
no.
okay,
character.
no.
You need to lower your standards. We're talking
Okay.
about Star Wars.
No, I'm talking about like
Okay, then it's Ezra. Ezra might bite it.
there's a character you relate to,
Mhm.
and then he dies usually in the second to last episode. Like in the first season of Mandalore, it was that guy who kept going
Oh,
like, "I have spoken."
it's the robot. The robot's gonna die.
Oh no, not him.
The robot with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
The one that they can fix again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but they can fix him.
Remember when they did that whole C-3PO died? And then he came back.
I actually didn't even watch like Rise of Skywalker. I was so mad after Last Jedi. I even skipped it. Like
Yeah,
as soon
so
as I
they-
heard stuff, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I didn't pay money on this.
Did you watch Toy Story 3?
Yeah. I saw that.
Where Buzz was like Spanish Buzz for like half of the movie?
Oh yeah.
That's basically what happened to 3CPO.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
So in closing, someone's going to die in episode 7. Someone we care about. It's going to happen. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves spiritually. What? Am I being blocked again?
Mhm.
No, he has
To me.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Like, yeah, so prepare yourself spiritually, emotionally for someone to die. And it's usually a character. The droids usually die in the last episode because that attack droid died in the last
True.
episode. In the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So maybe it might be Ezra, which will be so anticlimactic. If they kill Ezra now, it's just like, what's the point?
Nobody cares.
Nobody,
Yeah.
because like that's the thing that like this show is banking on. It's like banking on you having watched all of Rebels and are invested in all of these relationships to the point where they even did like the blatant Easter egg where they're like, yeah, remember the wallpaper and all the people.
Or it could be a case where Ahsoka gets kidnapped by Thrawn and then Sabine and Ezra have to save her.
If they do
Yeah.
that, then don't call it Ahsoka. Like, y'all have to change the title. Because she's actually, like, the other thing that's annoying me about this show, sorry, I'll let you say this, Tebello, but the other thing that's actually annoying me about this show, Ahsoka is not involved in this plot.
Not really.
She is so removed from whatever is happening here. Like, like, Sabine is the one who's actually pushing this thing forward. And I'm just like, just call it the Sabine show.
Just call it
Yeah.
what the hell. And let's
What the
Yeah.
hell? You know what? If I could, I'd change the font to Ahsoka to what the hell.
None at all.
Wait, maybe we should do final thoughts. Like
Okay.
in general, what did you think of the?
I've given my final thoughts already.
Yeah, I've already given my final thoughts. I just, like, for me, show, you guys need to pick whether Sabine is a Jedi or not. Just make a decision. Tired of this Schrodinger's cat inside out, 1 foot. She can use a Jedi lightsaber weapon, but she can't use the Force. They can't shoot her in the head, but she's blocking all the time. I'm like, that has to be some Force powers. Ezra was very underwhelming. Thrawn was the best thing about the episode, but that's a problem for me because I can't be more invested in the villain than the heroes. Because when they're fighting now, I'm just gonna be like, maybe I want Thrawn to win because he's only involved with bringing something.
He's so
here.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's like if they kill him, it's like Isan, Thrawn, Isan, no.
No, Thrawn, don't die.
My thoughts basically are I've never really been interested in Ahsoka. I've said this ever since we started having this discussion.
Yeah.
It's not interesting whatsoever for me. I love the actress to bits, but I think they're doing her dirty. They're doing
There are. This is
And Chat GPT writing there.
this is Anakin's apprentice,
yes,
and she's not even the main character of her own show.
yes.
Obi-Wan had more of a plot-centric storyline in Obi-Wan than
Right.
we are seeing in Ahsoka, which is a damn shame. As much as I love Thrawn, I told you, Thrawn is. The actor did Thrawn's representation credit. That's the only positive I'm taking away from this episode. Otherwise, everything is a solid F.
And I think that Ray Stevenson's character might just look. The more we're speaking about his character, the more I'm realizing that he might be a Jin Ichimaru of this whole thing, where
Yes.
we start realizing that no, he was a good guy all along. You know what I'm saying? But like,
It's Qui-Gon.
It's
Not
Polyjuice
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
even if it's not Qui-Gon, but I have a feeling that he's gonna do it the whole 360, and then we're gonna be like, oh, this is why they wanted to keep him for longer, and this is probably why Ray Stevenson even agreed to do this thing because he's a Grey Jedi, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're gonna be seeing those things, but I genuinely think that these 2 episodes are not gonna be satisfactory at all. They're probably gonna bank a lot on nostalgia. We probably might even see who's this guy played by Harrison Ford, Han Solo or a Chewbacca, because we haven't seen those, right? We've only seen Luke from the Mandalorian. We haven't seen Han or Princess Leia. So we've seen
No,
Princess
we've seen Leia. We've seen Leia.
We've seen Leia in Obi-Wan, but it was like a young Leia, right? So I'm thinking that this is probably a Ben Solo thing, because obviously, if it's all about hyperspeed and whatever, who better? Who's the best person when it comes to stuff like that than
Then Han.
Han?
I don't know if Han will show up. Maybe that would I don't know.
Guys,
But like I think for me this show is suffering from what Obi-Wan suffered from as well. Like Obi-Wan, it had strong direction in the beginning, which was nice, but then it just started deviating and getting wishy-washy. Like they're getting wishy-washy again, where it's like we don't know who we're following.
now that you mention it, I think you can tell the exact moments when the writers walked out and ChatGPT walked in. Mid-season, it's like whoops, and then
Yeah, because like Reva was supposed to have a show to herself, because that would have been a great show. Like like a secret inquisitor who has to deal with the ramifications of the horrible stuff she's done to people just to try and get revenge for her friends.
After
And then at the
surviving-
end, she doesn't even succeed, and that's just the end of the show. Like Vader just walks away and she has to deal with the fact that she killed millions to try and kill this guy and she didn't win. Like that's an amazing show. But now you throw that in the middle of Obi-Wan and it's just like, who do we care about here? I don't.
Mr. Extrodin, sorry, do you have more final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm done though.
I think apart from the things that I've mentioned now is they better do something interesting about Ezra. Otherwise, I won't even care less about his character whatsoever. That's it.
all right then.
Yeah.
Mr. Pillar, you got anything?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'll be quick. It's just this show is a nothing burger, and I know for a fact that this is a teaser for the next thing, because clearly that's what it is, and I'm excited for what the next thing is. Just make sure that this is the thing that you actually want to make when you make it.
Okay, I'm going to be the dumb one of the group and say, guys, no, don't worry. The last 2 episodes is going to be so epic. You're gonna see the most awesome Jedi fights. Suddenly, Ezra's gonna be using a light staff. There's going to be suddenly the whole 6th fleet is gonna appear as soon as Thrawn arrives, and then you see another all the all the warlords hiding in space are gonna gather around Thrawn and gonna have an epic Titanic. It's going to be the Battle of Jakku that we never got to see, that we see at
Yeah.
Planet at last. And this battle is going to be epic and explosions. And then there's going to be a new Death Star that appears and
Oh my
blows up a
gosh.
planet. And we're going to all lose our shit and gonna have the biggest nerdgasm in our entire lives. Title drop.
You notice how he was not interrupted not once when you
Yeah.
were saying all of this stuff. Kathleen and Dave Filoni were like, let's go.
We see.
Yeah, they might
Best
even make
Jedi
that a
mind trick
promo.
ever.
Yes,
Look how excited Star Wars fans are.
That's going to be the clip. Like, if they ever get a hold of this, they're just going to take that part specifically.
I'm sure they're gonna take all my words. It's gonna appear as somebody else. They're gonna use that whole AI filter thing to make it look like somebody else, and they're gonna use every single thing I said.
Yo, but Filoni, bro, please, no more slow motion spin kicks. Like, they just look so terrible when the people are fighting. Like, Sabine does one in this thing, and I was just like, that guy just stood there to get kicked in the face, because it looks like she had to take 5 minutes to spin and thingy.
Even
Yeah.
the shooting, like it's like some people were just waiting for Sabine to kick in
Why?
some people's ass before they shoot. I'm like, why?
I'm pretty sure those people who are living in the world are basically Thrawn's former stormtroopers that he fired. Because why do they have such shitty aim? That is stormtrooper aim right there.
Also, Dave Filoni, if you kill Sabine in the next episode, I will take back everything I said about the show. This is the greatest show of all time. If you literally kill Sabine in the next episode, I will be like, you know what? He's a genius. Who would have thought?
That's not gonna happen. May the force soothe you, I guess, because there's
like-
no.
If it literally opens with Sabine saying, Ezra, I have something to tell you. Ja!
And then
I'm gonna follow Ezra for 2 episodes.
Bruh, I'll be like, thank you. Thank you.
It's not good.
by that apprentice because he's been jonesing to kill her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I've been wanting to tell you.
Nah, there's no way, guys. If she can survive all of those blastings, if she can survive that other Jedi, people are going to be like, "What's happening here?"
But like, wouldn't it make such a better show? I'll be like, oh shit.
I already told you what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. My prediction is going to come true. You're going to see the most epic battles are going to happen in this. It's going to be the Titanic battle. It's going to be the Return of the Jedi 2.0. That's how that final battle is going to be like that with all the intricate details. I don't know how Admiral Akbar is going to appear and they're going to say, okay, we need to send a squadron of fighters inside.
We need to avoid the traps.
Jeez, guys, we're almost at 2 hours and we still haven't.
Oh my God!
Right,
Okay.
Yo.
Hi guys.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Extrodin, keeping us, extraordinized. Anyway.
Yes. You're the de facto moderator. Right now, I shall now log into Reddit.